We are live. Welcome back. Session 38. GM.
Hello. Session 38, I appreciate it. Going over some angelic and godly gifts and such for the characters. And yes, we just finished the Knocking on Heaven's Door chapter. We killed a couple space whales, celestial beings of great beauty, and killed them. Well, they were, kind of, nastified by the xenomorphs. So yeah, I guess we had to do what we had to do. And we are now in Heaven Behind chapter. Since we left Heaven Behind, that's where we're at. So hate me if you must, but I had to. Let's see. Good song. I love that song. Anybody not know that song?
Don't know it.
Which one?
Heaven Behind.
Nope.
Heaven behind you. Like let's see. Heaven beside. I might have misspoke. Beside. Yep, actually it's beside you, not behind you. Sorry, Heaven Beside You by Alice in Chains. I misspoke the title.
That sounds a bit more familiar.
Yeah, I wrote it down as Heaven Behind, but yeah, okay. As Heaven Beside You by Alice in Chains. Okay. I had to sing the lyric to myself to go, wait a second, I think I'm doing that wrong. So, like a cold, like the coldest winter chill, heaven beside you, hell within. Like the coldest winter chill, yeah, heaven beside you, hell within.
Anyways.
The Isengard has exploded in between space and astral space. Sending a shock wave through the ethereal space that you occupy. Instantly vaporizing and changing the battlefield. The whales that were approaching you were either slung off course or destroyed. The angel and the Isengard also vanish in a bright light. Bright enough for the sun. As you fall to your consciousness, your ethereal bodies, your material bodies from the ethereal space. The angel talks to you, whispers in your ear, gives you a memory. It says you will be asleep for some time and that you will awaken with a kiss of the gods and the angels. There was a time where this happened before. I was here. I remember it. I heard it. The eyes of God broke through the ocean and fell into the sea. There was a cry from the gods, and we heard them no more. And just now I heard them. Just now I heard them. Just now I heard them. where the mountain ranges come together, there's a great wound. The gods have sent a sword, a saber. Seek it out and help those. They are out of time. I will go before you and make the way clear. I heard the voices. As you slowly wake up, you feel a quietness. You were in the chamber where you summoned the angel. You smell burning. Kellum, make sure I'm on the right. Yeah, there we go. Kellum,
That's Marvin.
you're on your feet before anybody else, and you run to where you instinctively feel the danger of the smoke, the fire. You run into the chamber that contains the coffin for the vampire lord. And sticking out of the coffin is the sword you once held. The angelic flaming sword. As you draw closer, you see the dust in the coffin, signifying the end of the vampire. You gonna leave that sword there?
Oh, heck no. I'm taking it.
All right. So, Kellum, like some kind of King Arthur, puts his hands, his foot upon the coffin, and grabs it, yanks out the sword, holds it out in front of him, and I'm not going to come up with a command word. We can come up with one, or you can give me one. I was going to be mean and say flame on, but so since I wasn't going to be mean, I didn't want to come up with one. You don't have to have a command word, but so,
Ignis.
Ignis. I like
Ignis. Latin. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a pseudo-sentient sword. The only reason I say pseudo is it will not allow you to do any evil acts.
Okay.
You can feel its tug and such. Now, if you can justify it, as in doing justice, you might be able to get away with it for a little while, because it came from the angel of justice. I don't think Kellum would really get in there, but you definitely have this feeling like I will serve you, but I'm not going to let you do evil. And that's pretty much just the sense, like a loyal dog almost. Just I'll serve you. You just won't let you do evil.
Yeah, that's fine. Shouldn't be a problem for Kellum. He's not Marvu.
Yeah, right. He is definitely not Marvu. Which is a good thing. Yeah. Not that Marvu couldn't, but anyway. As the rest of you wake and hear Kellum running, maybe just like the last few steps into that room, because it is somewhat down this corridor. You start to realize where you are and start to come awake. You will notice that Vanthor is clothed in a pseudo, like a wriggling almost of vines. This a plate armor that is of vines and leaves. Um, uh, Hard yet at the same time flexible, and such. Does not infer any stealth problems or anything like that, because the vines move with him. And of course, you all feel slightly different, one way or another. The spells, some have changed. You can tell that these were gifts mostly by the god Sylvanus of nature, but some were given to you by the angel himself. Callum, your sword, and mainly the fire whip were given to you by the angel. Sylvanus gave you Van Thor his armor, and said, "I cannot be here, but you can. Here, wear this." And gave you his armor to wear in his stead, since he could not be here himself. So that's kind of giving you a few clues there as well, on some of the state of affairs. Let's see. Other people have gotten new knowledges, or feel touched or blessed in one way by the angels or the gods. Some feel a little lucky. As you, as individuals start to wake up and, feel the danger that Kellen kind of felt there for a moment, you also have a sense that you've been asleep for a while. That time has passed, but you don't have an exact feeling of that, unless somebody has something that they want to pull out of their sleeve to, get that right now. Somebody might have something. I don't know. Yeah.
Does anybody have canine? Canine feet? Anyway?
What's that? What was that?
The canine feet.
Yeah, right.
Look at your hair growth.
Now, not that bad. You're not like, oh my god, I'm so sick.
We've been sleeping for 10 years, a whole decade.
Well, it's not just your head hair, but like beard.
Yeah, that's the easy one. No, it doesn't look like
Actually, kind of
Ashra's.
hard.
It doesn't look like Ashra's beard's come in yet. So,
Well, what about Callum's?
generally speaking,
Kind of.
elves that have,
Elves
beards.
and facial hair do not go along. So
Come on.
That's why I picked on Ashra. Ashra.
Yeah,
Even the best building beard is
wouldn't
raggedy and ugly.
she wouldn't have beard, Harry?
I'm just messing with it. That's all. You never know with those, weird fey creatures.
That's exactly what.
Let's see. As you start to, as a group, wake up hurriedly and start rushing down the hallway, you see, standing in the archway, basically, not facing you, but facing the coffin, Callum standing there with the sword in his hands, just kind of admiring it in front of him, looking at the hilt and looking up and down at the sword. All get a sense of seeing the saber drop pod fall like a rock from the sky and hit the side of a mountain. And, there's a lot of smoke and such coming out from that. Basically, another vision from the angel and such. As you look around, you don't see any evidence of the angel outside of Kellum with his probably cheesy grin. Is there any other questions about anything descriptor? You're underground in the catacomb there. Any other information or anything you'd like to know before I let you kind of roll? Callum, you have anything to say about your sword, or is there anything that you need to say off?
No, it's just the flames turning off and on.
They're like a kid with a new toy.
Turn it on, flourish it a little bit, turn it off. Turn it on, flourish it again. Getting the feel for it. Make sure I don't flourish the wrong way and catch myself on fire. Or any hours. Do you want me to practice with it, right, guys? Right?
Okay, do we hear the not sure if you call it clattering or kind of the noise of wings and a small voice complaining about how long we've been taking a nap.
Oh, Maxie?
Yeah.
Gotcha. You don't see Maxie here, but you can see evidence of Maxie being here. She's been eating some fruit.
All right.
Well, I guess we got to decide. Are we going to continue the quest we were on here in this area with the undead and everything, or do we put that on hold and go after this saber that Angel sent us after?
I think priority would be find that saber, that pod that fell. We need to see if there's any survivors.
Yeah, give me 2 seconds. I didn't look at all my notes. I forgot to mention, and let me backtrack on my notes before I say anything else. Sorry. All right. Because as soon as you started talking there, I was like, oops, I forgot to say that. So let me say it again. Where is it? Where is this? Okay. So he does mention that the angel mentioned that when you find the saber, you will only have 3 days' time to correct the doom. There we go. Here it is. Yes. Okay, so that was the only thing I missed. So when you find the saber, you will only have 3 days to correct the doom and such, or stop the doom. Doesn't explain what that means, but there you go.
So we'll have 3 days from the time we find the saber, but if we don't go after the saber immediately, that's unlimited time. Or is it 3 days to find it?
He specifically said, and you can all concur together, that when you find the saber, you will have 3 days.
When we find it, the timer starts.
So, kind of like finding that saber is a bad thing, because then that starts a timer for a cataclysm. Maybe it should stay buried forever.
Perhaps, but let's not forget that if we do dilly-dally on it, One of those creatures did also pass through. Whether it survived or not, it's now on the material plane, and it could cause corruption.
Yeah. So we've
And,
dealt with them already with the weapons we had. We've got new weapons now, new abilities. As he says that, Callum kind of like, tests out his new whip ability. So who's to say we need that sword or want to deal with the extra cataclysm that sword brings by finding it?
But by leaving it sitting, who knows what could be festering? It could get worse the longer we leave it.
I mean, the voice didn't say that was a thing.
They also did not say it was a thing. They only said that once we got to it, the timer would start.
Okay.
Perhaps
I guess I did think about this, but didn't think that you'd push so much for it. Or maybe I need to change the wording a little bit.
Okay, we're
So I'm
misunderstanding.
going to retcon, and I don't like retconning a lot or changing, but if I
No,
When
get
when the
yourself
saber-
straight.
when the sword is found, you'll have 3 days to stop the doom. There we go.
Yeah, that's still the same thing.
Not exactly.
perhaps the saber becomes inert after 3 days, and it's our best chance at stopping whatever's bound to happen anyway.
So before, what I said is when you find the saber, you have 3 days. This time I have changed it to when the saber is found.
Oh,
you,
well, yeah.
You have 3 days.
So that changes. That means that when anyone discovers it,
I was already
not
under the
us
impression that if anybody discovers it, 3 days starts. I was not thinking of like, oh, it's only us. If anybody finds it, 3 days starts. But I'm like,
Right.
Well, see,
maybe
that's
we
the
need to
thing.
make sure nobody finds it and not let a 3 day count start ever.
Well, see, that's the thing. Either we're going to be the first ones to find it, or someone else is. If anyone else was to catch it falling from the sky and decided to investigate,
And depending on
depending
how long we've
also-
been down here, it may have already been found.
that is also a possibility. We don't know how long we've been here. Necra, where's Maxie?
By now, Necra's probably outside at the entrance. Where
Yeah,
he runs into,
that was like.
where she runs into Maxie, and Maxie's just sitting around and just kind of looking around and such. She's up in the tree basically. You see her; she's not really trying to hide, and you see her like looking out, towards the city and such. Do you? How do you want to approach her?
Is this daytime? Is it nighttime?
Oh, it is getting towards nighttime, so dusk.
Okay. Then
Let's see, the way the battlefield is, that's going to be. You might have a little bit of shadow to play with,
well,
but you're not going to be in the dark,
yeah. So that ain't gonna be fine. So at the top of the stairs, I'm like, so how long have we been out?
And she takes 2 steps and she's there. She just and gives you the biggest fairy hug that she can give you. Y'all been out for so long. It's been almost 2 days.
Really? That's all it's been? Okay.
Well, you left with the angel guy. Thanks for that. And I sat around. Y'all twitched a little bit. Kellen twitched a lot. But yeah, y'all been asleep. You have missed the fireworks. And she points out to the city, and you see the city is on fire, and such. And
All right.
you hear up on the hill where the manor is. It's the big dwarven complex, basically.
Yeah.
And you can hear drums, basically, boom, 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 boom.
So,
boom,
did something
boom,
drop out
boom,
of the sky and
boom.
land in town, or did they start fighting amongst themselves again?
Well, I think like the angel guy killed the wailing. I don't know, and she, anyhow. So now there's like a horde of zombies just sweeping through and just wrecking everything. And then these other, a bunch of green fireballs came from the castle thing over there. It was a pretty big spectacle. Right now, everything's just on fire, and those
All right.
drums have been Those drums have been drumming since this morning.
Okay, and start heading back down slowly. Like, exposition needed for the rest of the group.
Okay.
So,
So by the time y'all turn around and go, Necra's walking in with Maxie.
right, and like, hi, God, it's only been 2 days, and looks like the necropolis is, somebody kicked the anthill, apparently.
Well, do we go
I mean,
after the
that-
sword or deal with the city?
It's already been 2 days. I think this puts more priority on this saber. Because who knows if someone else has found it, or if they're, again, survivors, if they have ran into someone else. And again, I worry about the one creature that slipped through, the corrupted one, and if someone hasn't run into it, whether it survived or not.
I think I've changed the battle map to the
Yes.
the continent here. So we're in the ruins here. The grove is to the west, and down here where the mountain ranges come together. Is where the angel was talking about.
Okay.
I mean,
You
I don't
could
know.
you could make the grove in a day, and it's going to take a day or less. Let me check. I gotta get a little closer here. Look. I should have made the hexes a little darker. Can't see them very well. All right, so yeah, it's like just right at a day. So it might take a little bit of time to get down there. 1, 2, walking. 1, 2. Yeah, something like 8 days to walk it.
Many flying.
Right. So you do have communication with the Grove. You could call them and say, hey, this is kind of what we're going to be doing. They can, maybe come up with some support. You might want to check in with them anyhow, whatever. So it'd take you a day to get there, 8 days or so to go straight to the, if you walk, it's pretty much going to be about the same thing. If you went to the Grove, just, talking about the map here, you could take the river from where you are. It could cut off a couple days, but you're still going to be walking the rest. So I don't know exactly. Give you a few ideas there.
We've got our Manticore friend, Fly, right?
Right.
I know he can't carry all of us.
No, he wouldn't be able to take everybody.
But how long would it take him flying?
Probably a third of that. 1, 2, yeah, 2 days. Yeah, 2 days.
So I would suggest that we go back to the Grove, resupply. 2 of us go with the Manticore and fly. The rest of us will return to the ruins, get a boat, and go down the river and be on the lookout for the other creature that came through. And then we'll eventually catch up to those that flew.
How big is the Manticore?
He may not be able to take 2. I mean, he is big. He is bigger than, he's bigger than a standard Manticore. Since he's been.
What's this size category? Is he large?
He's
huge?
still large. He's still large. So yeah.
Well, he carried the blacksmith on his back, and the blacksmith is as big as 2 of us.
Yes, in a way, you do have a point. Elves are, supposed to be, okay, all right.
Blacksmith is still considered medium, though, so a large carry with medium.
Yeah, I mean, I do hear, Callum's argument, and such. But
like, what if we went by, like horseback or something?
Some places you can get a little bit further. So the big thing with horses is, if they get exhausted just walking, all day long. Just like you get exhausted walking all day long, and they pretty much only go a little bit faster walking than people walk. So really, it's just to keep you from getting exhausted. On a run, when you're not in the deep forest and such, and you're in the grasslands, you know what I'm trying to say. Good Lord, grasslands, or plains or anything like that. Then they can run and such. Forest, this is a much denser forest than riding horses. So that's like a big reason why horses really aren't a big thing for our group.
Right. Understand.
Because the forest is more of a deciduous, evergreen rainforest, basically. And that's the majority of the route from here to there is that that light green is that rainforest, and then the dark green is actually thicker, such. So.
Okay.
So flying
Well,
probably would be the best bet.
okay.
The Manicore
Okay.
definitely can take one person.
You can take one, because taking more than one would start messing with his speed.
Yeah. Not
Not
so
that
much
he
weight,
could.
just mass.
Yeah.
Well, not so much mass. Yes, mass, but 2 asses are bigger than one. Anyhow,
That's
just sitting on his
weird.
back, and wings and legs, and four
Mhm.
four extra legs and stuff. So
I would say
maybe I don't know. Maybe we'll have to think about it.
it's gonna
But
take.
I have if you are going to stop by the Grove, and and stuff like that, we can
Well,
also
well,
come up with some of the other alternatives.
right. Like, let's do that. It's gonna take us a day to get. Or you say traveling that way, we're gonna end up going past the Grove anyway. So,
Pseudo, yeah. I mean, it's a
I
little
mean,
out of the way, but nothing terrible. There is
I
that.
mean,
You could go, on land a day or two, and then hit that river and cut that in half. So,
Could.
and then
well, let's do that. Let's check in on it because we have been out for 2 days. We should go back to check on the Grove. Because we know that some of these undead have been roaming out of the limitations. So it should be good to check on the Grove anyway. Check on the Grove. Let's check in with the tree. See if we find any other solutions. If not, we can ask our manticore friend to fly one of us and see about the best way for the rest of us to get there.
So with the sending stone, you can send a 25-word message. It doesn't have to be exact. You could just say, "We want to state this." Make this a statement, that statement, and that statement.
We need to say, prepare a boat.
In case of trouble. Okay, cool. I would think the giant python could swim. Does it have a swim speed?
It should.
The constrictor snake?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got some speed.
What's its size? Is it huge, large?
The giant constrictor snake is huge,
Huge.
which means it could carry like 2 medium-sized creatures.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Do you wish to make to the Grove immediately, taking the cover of night?
Yeah,
Do
we've
we
been
want
sleeping for
to-
2 days. Let's just grab all of our stuff, put it in the cart, and go.
Does that count as a long rest?
Yes.
Alright.
It should.
And remember to take off the temporary hit points. I don't think I cleaned that up on everybody. So.
Clean it up on me about how hard you hit.
Yeah. Same.
Very good points.
So you definitely take a long rest.
Did we want to use the sending stone to send a quick get any updates from what's her name? Jade.
Yeah, we also need to let them know to start preparing a boat for us.
Yeah.
So that we can
Right,
get there
like-
and go.
Prepare a boat.
So it's like we got 25 words or less. It's like
We could say need boat.
heading back, need boat, need manicore ready. Something like that. in like any trouble. I'm not getting it.
Gotcha.
Question mark.
So, I'm sorry.
It's like any trouble? Question mark.
Right. So they send back a message saying that the tree and others have heard from Sylvanas for a moment the other day, and so they've been celebrating. The message was joyful and oh crud, what's the word I'm looking for? Foreboding. So hurry back, and we are preparing for you.
Okay. Mhm. We gather our things in our cart and Rocky. Let's go.
All right. So it seems that Maxie and Rocky have been kind of hanging out the last couple days and such. So they've been buddying up, kind of chattering with each other. You notice that Rocky, when he has someone to talk to, is actually quite talkative. Though he doesn't have much experience with things, so he's kind of naive, and Maxie does take advantage of that. So she's, plays kind of cruel games and tells them, dragons, they can eat you whole, but they're also scared of cats. And he's like, really? And stuff, and just silly things, and just making up stories and just having a good old time, kind of misleading him in weird ways here and there.
Mm-hmm.
The whole time I'm, provided I can hear all this, I'm telepathically just correcting everything that Maxie is saying.
So after a while, Rocky kind of starts to get, the hint, and she's very forthcoming with a lot of different information and stuff, but there's always some kind of weird twist, that eventually you see this path of, if he follows all this information, he's going to get us killed one day. Or, if nothing else, definitely get himself killed one day or something. And it seems kind of innocent at first, but then after a while you kind of see, it's building and becoming more and more. So Rocky, now will start looking at you, Banthor, anytime Maxie starts saying anything about, something. When she starts pixie-splaining something, he'll kind of give you a side glance just to check, like an info check, checking on the information and such. As you walk through the night, you did notice that there's more activity than there should be from the beast of the land. It seems that the majority of the natural beasts, and even maybe some of the more fearsome, beasts and such, are Necra. You notice that they're kind of making way for the group and such. So, you kind of figure it's like, I don't know, maybe 500, 700 feet, depending on some of the terrain and such. But there seems to be this, before we even get there, the beasts just kind of get out of our way and such. And you seem to travel, even with this, extra activity and such, from the beast of the forest. you travel relatively easy without any complications. It does take you a full day to get to the grove. Anything that y'all want to discuss before you get to the grove? You've had time to, of course, talk about anything. Do y'all want to set up any precedents or anything before you do get to the grove?
Yes.
All right.
I'd like to turn to Zorn and offer a halo.
That's right. Your proficiency went up, so that's right. That's right. Okay, cool.
Hey, if you wear this, and I can keep you safe, and I'll know where you are if we get separated within a certain range.
Mm.
That is your choice to wear it.
Thank you. I will. Yeah. Zorn says thank you in his bizarre combination language.
You
Still learning
got it, buddy.
Mm.
I need to step away from the mic for just a moment. While I'm doing that, I'm going to grab something to drink. I'll be back in 5 minutes. My apologies.
Alright. Okay, might be a question to consider. When we head out from the grove, do we head for the temple factorium and the shorter trip from there to the river? Or do we go...
Well, if we
Where
go,
do we head towards the river?
if we go to
or
the
not?
temple, if we go to the temple and then to the river, that's going to take us longer than just going straight to the river.
I'm trying to remember, though, early on in the campaign, we had found that like dwarven-made path, and me and
Yeah,
Ashra were able to get to the grove quicker, and I don't know if we can take that path. It was kind of like a quick way from the temple to the grove, I thought.
Wasn't the temple, but there's
It wasn't.
the dwarven road here that's kind of twisty.
It was a dwarven road that led out towards the mountains. We never followed up on that path yet, but that
Okay.
could be a way that leads us to the mountains. Alright, I think I'm ready to switch some things around in my character here.
Oh, and Zorn, did you wear the halo or just take it?
He's probably going to just take it and wear it when trouble starts.
Okay, gotcha.
Alright. I got one for 3 points to play with. Alright. subtle spell, y'all. Now I can cast without no one noticing.
Okay, sorry about that. Thanks for being patient.
Mhm.
Yeah, Ashra. What spells did you pick? Or the initiate, mainly?
For
And
the
then the feet,
right.
do you remember?
For the wizard, for the magic initiate, I couldn't think of the name. I was like,
Yeah,
what is
there
the
we
thing
go.
called? Magic
Sorry.
initiate. What I did was I swapped. I took because I had mold earth as a sorcerer
Right.
cantrip. I switched that to it because the magic initiate goes off of my intelligence. Is the only
Gotcha.
downside about that is that
Right.
it goes off my intelligence modifier. So I
Yeah.
would have to choose stuff that doesn't really depend on it. So I switched mold earth.
Right.
That, and then I bounced between mage hand, message, and prestidigitation. And I think I'm gonna take message for my second character. And the spell I also swapped to mage armor.
Uh-huh.
So now I have mage armor from that, and that way I can switch it my sorcerer spell. And I took shield.
Ah.
So, and then for the meta magic, I took quicken spell. So, can cast a spell as a bonus action for 2 sorcery points. If it has a casting time of an action. And I took subtle spell.
Ooh, okay.
So now I can cast without doing verbal or somatic for the cost of 1 sorcery point.
Nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Spell
Nasty.
sniper.
Oh, come on. It's now that I can just stand there and look somebody straight in the eye and cast a spell on them and they don't know it.
We just come from blam. See?
So, yeah. Kind of switching around to boost up my defense some more. And, yeah.
Your defense even more? No, we don't need that. Okay. As you enter in the area before you get to the grove, there seems to be an excitement in the forest. Can I get everybody to give me a perception check? Hello.
I'm not Marbu.
Oh, sure. Hold on.
I'm still amazed by the flame sword.
That's awesome.
It's a great thing
All
about
right,
having
extra.
12 perception.
Good night. And you rolled poorly.
Whopping 3.
I'm like, oh, you got a 15. That's pretty good. Why did I tell you that? What's 12? Oh my goodness. Yeah, the armor was stupid.
Yeah, that's par for the course for me right there. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
let's see, roll.
Ouch.
Ashra.
I can't see. You know, I don't notice anything around me.
No, you didn't. You didn't notice anything.
Is he?
So we've got some information. Zorn, did you did you roll a perception? You didn't have to, but I didn't know this one. Yeah.
Just 11.
Okay, all right. So Necra and Banthor, stupid plus 12, and plus 10. So you're not very far, Necra, behind. So we got some good eyeballs on the team. And Zorn's probably up there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Zorn's up there. He's got a plus 7. Yeah. As you get closer to the grove, right before you get into that outer realm of protection, this kind of territory. Just out of sight, say you just happen to glance over Necra and catch a little movement. And with Banthor help, kind of noticing you, well, maybe not. Yeah, because it'd be during the daytime. Because doing a full day, you walk through the night, and it's morning by the time you get to the grove. So Banthor would probably see you looking or something, and the two of you notice there's two green kobolds up in a tree, looking in our direction, but it doesn't look like they've spotted the group yet.
Really?
They look like they're on a scout. They're scouting. They're looking. You've been up in a tree looking for people or looking for prey. Something to hunt. That's what they're. They're up there scanning that general area where you're going to be walking through, as if they're like, okay, we're looking at this area right here, and this is the area that you're about to go walking through, to go to the grove and such. And that's when you notice them. Oh, I don't know. Outside of bow reach. How about that?
Outside of bow reach? Are you sure about that?
Outside of 600 feet?
Because you know bow has 600 feet, right?
Yeah.
We can see it, and it's more than 600 feet.
Nectar, you just happen to, they're up in a tree, and you just happen to see the movement with that 20.
All right.
And I see this as well.
Well, with Necra's help, basically, the 15, basically, those two scores allow y'all to, narrow in. Okay, Necra saw some movement, that kind of subconscious, I see movement. Well, it's kind of different movement. It's red. And then, kind of moving your head back and forth, kind of looking like, where is it? And then the two of y'all go, oh, right there. Oh,
okay. So I'll telepathically let everybody else know.
You said these were green kobolds?
Correct. Part of the Umac tribe.
And they're scouting, looking as if they're looking for...
So basically, y'all are moving in a westerly direction, and they're positioned to the south, looking north. So they're looking right in the if you kept on going, you'd walk right through line of sight and such. So they've kind of set up looking in this area going, okay, something's coming through here, and we're looking right here in this arc. Nectar noticed it right at the last moment. If we go any farther, they're going to see us.
Alright. What time of day is it? Are we still
It
moving at night?
You've almost gotten to the grove. It's morning, early. The dew is, still heavy. So,
Okay. So it's
8:30
late out.
now. Yeah. 8:30 in the morning, something. Yeah.
All right.
You've made good time overnight. You all can see, forever and a day, and, you've got Necra, who can't be seen, leading the pack. It's all good. You'll make good time.
Yes. Seeing as they... Alright. I'll be right back, and then duck into the... climb a tree and try to disappear.
Okay.
Don't kill both of them. Leave one of them alive.
Fluttering back. I wasn't planning on killing anyone yet.
Right.
What would you like to do, Necra?
Actually, while up in the tree, I want to find the nearest large predatory bird.
Okay. With your ranger senses, I think, right? Yep, there we go. I'm just, bad living here. Okay. With your ranger senses, you reach out and sense a large bird of prey. Actually, you feel as if there's 4 large birds of prey nearby.
All right.
You can, you can sense them.
All right. Find whichever's the closest.
They all seem to be in a group. You can't tell exactly how far they are, but you can sense them out there. They have a lot of presence about them. So.
Okay. Approach the birdies. And when I get within speaking range, use speak with animals to go and, hey, why don't you, if you're willing to help me, snatch those 2 up and point to a given location right on the path, land them face first in the dirt.
So you don't see them immediately. So you call out to them and such. And after a few minutes, they fly into view. 4. Hold on, I gotta go back to. Okay, there we go. 4 giant eagles.
One just is needed for this.
Well, 4 giant eagles circle around for a little bit and call back to you. We hear you, child of the forest. What is it do you wish? And then you tell them, hey, go pick up those guys and drop them here. Oh, are they bothering you? One moment. And he just, with a kind of a smooth regalness, 2 of them peel off, circle around to their back, and swoop them up 2 dives, and pick up the kobolds. And unceremoniously drop them before Kellum and the rest of them. Basically, I figured you want them, right there. Is that what you wanted? Like right at your feet? The group?
Just a little in front, but yeah.
Okay. So they deposit them, unceremoniously, like I said, on the fourth floor and swoop back into the air. We will be seeing you later, forest friend.
You see almost everything. And, yeah. Drop the spell and... basically
So
swing
you now have 2 squeaking and bruised kobolds who immediately jump to their feet and grab their short swords that look kind of like daggers, and kind of put their backs to each other and kind of look at everybody. Do not mess with the... as one of them starts to speak, the other one slaps him with the backside of his short sword dagger, and he stops speaking. What do you wish to do? You now have 2 kobolds, as you have probably surrounded them, and they're looking vicious, barking at you.
Ask your questions quick, Ashura.
No,
Kellum
go,
says this
go.
as he draws his sword and ignites it.
They look at you, Kellum. Fear and a little bit of disbelief and anger comes in their eyes.
What? I suggest you two start talking if you want any chance of living past 5 minutes. Why were you in the trees?
They look back and forth at each other, uncertain of what to do. And
TikTok.
the one that looks a little bit more, maybe larger, just by a hair and such, barks at the smaller one, and basically just says, "Put down your weapon." And he looks at the other guy like, "Really, dude? No." Like you could see like the disappointment, the not just disappointment, but like realization of about something that's just about to happen. His face kind of goes white in a fashion. You can see like if he's gonna lose blood, he's losing it right now. And the smaller one takes his sword and puts it in his sheath, and the other one stabs him in the throat.
Oh.
Gently lays him on the ground and whispers in his ear, pulls out the dagger, and puts it in the sheath. He looks up at you with anger in his eyes.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna subtle cast detect thoughts.
well,
Okay.
2 different people doing it.
All right. Is there any save or anything I need to do?
Wisdom save if I probe deeper, but I do get surface thoughts.
Yeah, okay, that's right. You get the surface thoughts first, and then you get to decide whether or not you want to probe in deeper or change your perspective to somebody else, or just hold on right there at the surface while you ask questions. Okay, I remember.
I very not so suddenly casted it.
Do the same?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so both of you will get the surface thoughts, as he had to kill the other guy so that he could speak openly. Basically, their customs only allow one of them to be speaking, and neither one of them are allowed to speak. So, basically, to keep tradition, for him to be able to speak to you and the other guy not to hear him. That was kind of the sacrifice that had to be made to make this conversation. It's an odd exchange. So basically it's you feel the history of this, and it's a control measure.
Mhm.
It's set upon by to them so that they can be controlled, basically. So only certain people can speak. You can't be heard by other people. Things like that. So, and if you have to speak, then you could be the only person. And a lot of times they send two people out, and if they have to speak, then they kind of decide who's going to die for this conversation to happen. So a lot of times, in a way, this is like almost a suicide mission. Another part of their control. And you get a lot of hatred because this guy had to kill this other guy.
I mean, he wouldn't have to. That's the choice he made. Self-hatred. Don't project that on us.
And he barks at you in Draconic. Ask your questions.
I will repeat in Draconic. Why were you in our trees?
The great Sumac, in her wisdom, saw you come this way this day. She bid us to come out here and see that it was true. To see what you would do. To find out your movements. And to see if you have retrieved the talking orb, or if you have retrieved the egg.
Keeping tabs on us, huh? Is that what the thoughts are? His thoughts are saying?
Oh yeah. There's other things that are underneath all that as well.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Yeah,
stuff he's keeping back. There's stuff he's keeping back. So
yeah, I'm probing deeper. It's a wisdom
with
save.
with Banthor's passive insight of 18, and you got a passive of 14. You could tell that he's hiding something.
Yeah,
so
I'm definitely probing deeper.
Yeah, same.
All right. So basically with disadvantage. All right. Awesome. Yeah, the 6 is gonna totally mess up that 20. Alrighty. So as you probe deeper, you notice, that basically, you see a great green dragon, old, ancient, covered with vines and tree moss, but also seems to have like maybe a sickness or a skin illness of some sort. You can see large patches of her skin has been like maybe through necrotic energy of some sort or something, been like eaten away. And they're like just all over her, mostly her underside, her belly, the chest, arms and legs, but don't really notice them on the back or on the head. And she's speaking to her people, and it seems, quite a number of kobolds and other creatures there. You see that she has a gaggle of priests and priestesses with her, and she's talking to everybody. She's saying that she heard from the gods, and that the second calamity is happening. We need to prepare and be ready to sacrifice ourselves to protect the forest. And she starts sending out people on little missions. And this is where she sends out at least 2 guys on their little mission. Go find the elves, or the fey creatures, she would say, from the grove. They will be coming through here on this day. Come back and tell us what you find. Tell the next group to go watch them as they leave.
Next group. So good. Alright. Next question. Where's the other group hiding?
He tells you that they're about a half a day's walk. A few hours walk. Towards the to the south.
Okay.
And they're supposed to go around to the other side of the grove and watch for you there.
Okay. Shares that information with the group. What she learned. What does she mean by sacrificing to protect the forest?
You see what I did to my companion just so I could speak with you? We would sacrifice ourselves for the forest.
What calamity does she think is about to happen?
She says that the black demons, from when she was young, have returned.
Mhm.
And they are preparing to scour the land.
I was still probing while asking these questions in case anything else comes up.
Yeah. So far, he seems to be speaking truthfully, outside of, holding back that information about, what. So he's kind of actually, I guess, a little startled that you would say that. So I had to catch myself. Forgot that was background noise. So yes, he's startled that you would mention that, but after a moment, he says that the black demons that once scoured the land have come back, or that the queen has reawakened.
The queen has reawakened. What's wrong with your dragon queen?
He just kind of stares at you like he hates you, and you feel like he hates you. In his mind, she's always been this way, and she's perfect. For you to openly say something like that.
Yeah, she doesn't care. Why does she look so sickly?
How have you seen her? You could not have seen her.
I see a lot of things. Your queen's not the only one that has sight beyond sight.
You speak blasphemy. I should kill myself so I do not have to hear this anymore.
Okay, you're gonna die anyway. Like her eyes travel over the counter, still holding a flaming sword. Sorry, go ahead.
I thought you just gave me a signal to finish him off. I was about to.
Hold on one second. And there's still the second group that we can question. So whether you talk or not doesn't really concern me. But if you have any last words you'd like to share, any words that you'd like to go back to your queen, be sure to deliver them.
Before we kill her.
Unless she protects the forest.
Does she? Or is that what she has you believe? How can you protect something that you're willing to kill?
She has allowed you and your folk to live here, where she has allowed none others.
Allowed.
We were here before she was.
She hasn't allowed us anything. Don't mistake us for you. If that's all you have to say.
He goes, I understand your vision is short, just like our lives are short. That is why we follow her. Her vision takes on many years from the past, in the present, and in the future. She will have passed you, past all of us. She will protect the forest.
When did she get this vision or voice from the gods?
Just 3 days past.
3 days. Alright. So lines up. I think that's all. Now she gives you the nod, kill him.
I step in. Hold on. I'll say telepathically. Perhaps we should show them some goodwill if we're all trying to stop this calamity in our own way.
I'm not the she looks back at Asha looks back at you, Bethlar. Kind of looks at you and she just looks at Killen, like gives you a little like, I'm not the one you have to convince.
Callum was just sitting there, like, looking between the two of you. I was like, I don't care. Either I kill him or I don't.
I mean,
they've attacked us time and time again. Whatever.
I mean, we've only defended ourselves. We don't. I don't consider them an enemy. Maybe they're queen,
Okay.
but these are just. I mean, you see how they treat each other. On the words of who's supposed to protect them. But what we do with... Sorry, what was that?
Perhaps we could show at least this one that there is a different way.
What would you have us do with them?
Heal him and let him go.
Let him go? Let him run back to his queen?
Yeah. If he's no real threat to us right now, and they're at least intending to protect the forest, I don't find it right to take their life.
Anything else in his thoughts? Because she's still probing. But she hasn't stopped.
A vine slowly lowers toward the cobalt. He doesn't notice it and such, but everybody else does. It slowly descends, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Necra, stop it.
Be thankful it isn't Maxie. Kind of a twitch from the brush. It hasn't just stuck him with something.
Oh, no, I don't want to get mixed up in all this. I mean, you know, if he gets squirrely, but...
I mean, again, who knows what his queen is gonna... anything in his mind about what happens when he returns? Like his thoughts on, like, going back if he makes it out of here? Why?
All right. So you basically need to kind of. Well, I guess you're probing. What does it say? Do you have to ask him first to kind of get to that? Let me look at what it says. Can't remember.
I mean, you can lead his thoughts by asking like questions, basically interrogating what we're doing. So I guess, what would you do if we were to let you run off with your, or what life you have left?
Okay, say that again. I was
What
slightly
would you?
distracted.
What would you do if we let you run off? What life you have left? She's kind of saying that in a pitying way. She pities him.
I would go and report to my queen and tell the others to take care of their task.
All right. Anything in his thoughts?
Yeah, you basically, I would tell them how you treated me, both ill and good. If you let me survive, basically, The only hatred he really has for y'all as a group is that the big thing is that the blasphemy, talking ill of his queen, and the fact that he had to respect his customs and kill off his comrade and such. So
Again, self-hatred. We didn't make him do it.
So outside of that, he really doesn't have any feelings towards the group.
Okay.
But that is actually kind of the general gist of how they operate in a way. The majority of the feelings are a cult-like feeling towards the queen.
Mm-hmm.
And, like a fierce loyalty to each other.
So loyal, they're willing to kill each other.
Yep. Because he's probably going to die when he goes back.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Like that's my thought. It's like he's dead either way.
And that's
Like-
basically the feeling that he gets to is like, I'm probably dead when I go back. So
It's like that's why she said, "What short life you have left." Because she already knew, like she got the feeling already. But
the queen is supplied by a steady supply of kobolds.
So Astra will look at the party, and it's like, well, he'll return to his queen. He'll report. Most likely die. He said he will inform the other group that's supposed to be watching us.
Okay.
You basically get the undercurrent feeling that he's he's kind of stated he's accepted his fate. There we go. So either way, he's going to die here or he's going to die feeding the queen. He'd much rather die feeding the queen and serving her in that fashion.
Mm-hmm.
But he's proud to die here.
Yeah. I'm jumping over. Let me circle back. He said, what did he call it? The black demons,
Correct.
which show up again. Or the queen demon has awakened.
Correct.
Okay, now she's gonna turn. What else do you know about these black demons or this queen? She's probing for that the most.
Okay. He doesn't have any other information. This is well before his time, and she's never really spoken about it before. Not much, it's kind of a known history, but it's nothing really talked about. So for her to talk about it, we're in an amazing time. We get to sacrifice ourselves for the queen in the forest.
Mm-hmm. Right, and so no memories of him hearing anyone else speak of it or anything else like that.
Not so much that it just happened. It basically was a season, so 3 months maybe, where the demons were scattered across the land and were killing and abducting people, different peoples, and just any colony, city, whatever they ran into, they would decimate, either killing or kidnapping, leaving few survivors and such. This went on for a long time, and then something suddenly happened and it was over.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think I can get anything else from him. Banthor, you have any questions?
Nope.
And Nashua will turn from him, look at him, look him in the eyes. Go on then. Run back to your queen. And tell her that if she wishes to know of our activities, she can speak directly. Not with this sending you peons to sneak around.
So as you start your conversation, your statement to him, he's excited. Now he gets to go home. And then, as you continue talking, he kind of gets this, horrified look upon his face, like, you want to speak with her? You must be mad, kind of thing. Okay, I'll let her know. So he says he'll, with a stammering voice, he says that he'll relay your message, and he proudly kind of just starts walking away.
Before you go,
Asher's gonna clear her throat. You're forgetting something. And looks towards the dead corpse.
The forest will take him.
No, you will take him.
He goes over, kind of puts his arms, the guy's arms together, and does like a fireman hoof, and throws them over his shoulder, grabbing his arms, his legs, an arm and a leg, and starts walking away with them.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, go ahead, Bathorn. Didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, no, you're good. I'm gonna walk up to the creature and ask that he give me his hand.
He tentatively at first reaches out,
and I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on him from that fall, and
Okay.
say, "May your deaths bring meaning."
It will be glorious. I will be one with the queen.
This calamity affects us all, and we should fight together to prevent it, or fight each other. Trust that your queen is wise enough to know the best choice.
We are not supposed to hinder you. And he turns around and walks.
And I'll let him go.
Okay. You watch him for a while, and he, walks off to the south, out of sight. And Necro disappears and comes back later, wiping her blade. No, I'm just picking.
Tempting, but no.
I know.
Any last thoughts as he's walking off?
Yes, he's very proud and elated that he's going to be, probably eaten by the queen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
All right.
as we're heading on, point out that
We need to let's get to the other group that's waiting on us. And figure out what we're going to do with them as well.
Oh, so you're going to wrangle up the second group?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you start following the kobold.
It's going the same way.
He looks over his shoulder, and sees you following. I don't know. Do you want to make it stealthy, or I'm just like, okay, lead the way, young man?
I mean, he said he was going to inform the second group. So. I guess we're all just walking the same way. It's like watching him carry his dead comrade.
All right. So y'all wish to follow him to the second group. He'll lead you for a couple hours, basically. Somewhat unwilling. You still have the spell up for a little while. And he'll recognize, pretty soon, unless, you try to do it stealthily and such. But, he's a little tentative, knowing that he's going to lead, to his other companions and such. But,
he might have to kill both of them as well.
After about an hour of walking, he stops and turns around. If y'all stop, he'll walk up to y'all. But so basically, one way or the other, he's going to catch up to y'all, or let y'all catch up to him. And I cannot lead you to my companions. So I will go home.
A good choice.
And he kind of starts. He makes a slight angled turn and starts heading in a like a southwest kind of direction.
We're still going for the others, the other group.
All right. After a while of walking and searching, he said they were about 2 hours out. You finally come up to a small encampment in the distance. You see 2 kobolds, one just kind of keeping watch while the other one's just messing with stuff, maybe cooking up some food or something.
All right. How would you like
It's still,
to be?
So it's getting towards midday. There, it's still quite shaded here in the forest and such, so it's not too much of a difficulty for our drow to see in the dark clearly, or see in the brightness, because it's not that bright. What do y'all wish to do?
Alright. Gonna look over at Bathor. How do you want to handle this one?
Same as before. Just let them know that mission's done and send them on their way, unless they attack us.
All right.
And if one should kill the other?
Then so be it. That's their way of life.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure if you want to stay intervene or what?
No, wouldn't want to prevent anything if that's their wish.
Yeah. If they choose to do. Yes, Necro?
Yeah. As Necro's explaining to Zorn, she shifts so that she's actually looks exactly like the kobold that we had wander off. Using disguise self.
Gotcha. I don't know if you could cut your legs off that much, can you?
You can reshape yourself. Well, 1 foot, so not quite, but
Maxie,
You're gonna have to paint
laugh.
real well.
Maxie looks at you and kind of laughs. I think I can do that a little bit better than you can. Lands on the ground and takes up a more approximate size than your very tall kobold.
well, Necra is still
Young, so she's not tall. Alright.
She's like 5'6", so 4'6" is so more than little tall, but still.
Alright.
You did say
You didn't
that
have-
the other one was
you-
bigger, so
Yeah, you could say, you could just holler out from a distance, or something. You do know Draconic, so.
So you want to disguise yourself as one of them for what purpose?
walk up, tell them we'll give them the message or a message, and then, well, go on our way unmolested.
Just don't speak. Whoever's disguising themselves as the kobolds, just don't talk. Nod. Shake your head. That's about it.
Mhm.
Play charades. All right.
Um,
Sounds like.
Let's see.
Looks like.
Either Banthor or Ashra, or Ashra, excuse me. You can roll history for me if you would.
What is my okay? My character sheet keeps wanting to reload every time I switch to it. I have history.
Good lord. Was that a crit?
Yep. Not 20.
All right.
Is that a crit?
So Ashra, when
Yes, it
Banthor
is.
says just nod, you get a sense of remembering when he was talking about, reporting to these guys. That's basically what he was going to do, is just walk up to them, nod, and then head home, giving them the information they needed to know that they needed to go and do their part.
Alright.
Wait, but their part was to remain and watch us until we left.
To go around the south side of the grove and watch for you to leave the grove.
Yeah. And Ashra doesn't want that. Does not want them watching till we leave. He wants them to just leave.
That's what I was aiming for.
Okay.
You go, I'll let you handle it.
Alright. So, which one is closer to the approximation of that other kobold? Necro or Maxi?
I'll let you.
Okay, so Necro wanders up in Draconic. New orders. And tells them actually to go back to Sumac for mustering for a mass force to try and take on the demons.
They look back and forth to each other nervously, and after a moment, they just kind of nod their heads. They look kind of mournfully at you, and they start gathering their supplies.
Could I get how close could I get without being detected to do detect thoughts on them?
Well, let's see. What's the range on that?
30.
30 feet. Ooh, that's hard. Does somebody have greater invisibility?
Yes, I do.
Right. So you can cast greater invisibility on Banthor, hold the concentration, and he could walk up.
Sure.
Can't quiet cast, so
I can subtle cast it on him. Alright. Because I want to make sure that to see if they might have had any other thoughts or any other instructions besides just watch.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, she'll share that with Banthor, and like, I'm going to cast a spell on you, and you go and make sure there's no alternative motives they were given, like tasks.
Okay. And I'll cast that away before I try to, before I walk up.
There we go.
So I'll cast Detect Thoughts like out of their range of hearing and all that. Because there's a verbal component and all that, and then I'll walk up invisible.
Okay. All right. So basically, you can cast it kind of and hold it. And then when you get close to them, you can release it and stuff. That'll be fine. So as they're, putting their stuff together, their main thoughts right now are, the fact that this guy, who Necra is imposed, trying to be, is basically, dead. When he gets back home, he's going to have to report that he, spoke and that others heard him speak and such. So, he's going the way of the dodo bird. So they're mourning that, and basically just, but also elated as well because they get to sacrifice themselves for the forest. Because, they're getting ready, for the demons and such. So they think they're going off to battle. So there's no like, oh, we've got to go do this first, or this, this is breaking protocol. This is weird. Anything like that. Oh, this poor guy, he's about to die. But okay, we get to sacrifice ourselves for the forest.
And
the Kool-Aid is thick with sugar here.
Don't say.
So yeah, do you want to delve deeper just to see any other instructions they had or anything like that?
Okay. So yeah, diving deeper.
I'd need a
so I have to roll
wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom save. All right, thank you.
Yep.
Where are we at? D20. Ooh.
Spellians.
What's the DC?
16.
He rolled a 19. So, the guy that you're probing kind of looks up, and looks around, and then looks kind of, oh, Necra, have you left, or are you still there? As they're gathering their stuff.
Well, as they're gathering their stuff, about just before it starts, looking around. Also, I will not be joining you. I have been tasked to follow the adventurers from the Grove. I don't expect to survive very much longer. And start to head as he starts looking around.
Right. He kind of looks at you with a weary eye, huh? Trying to, do some insight and such. But, they're not really that bright. They've been given a small task for small people. So, in the confusion of, everything that's going on, he kind of lets it pass and continues getting his stuff together. And they both kind of, nod and bow at you, respectively. Out of respect. And, knowing, of course, that you like you said, that you don't have a long life. And continue doing their thing as you walk away.
Alright. As soon as I'm out of eyesight, drop the spell.
Okay.
Just-
Now, do know that with detect thoughts, once, like, if you're about to get discovered, you can switch over to the other.
Oh, does it say that? I thought it said. I'm looking at this.
Yeah,
If you probe deeper, target makes a wisdom saving throw. If it fails, gain insight. If it succeeds, the spell ends. I think it's just if they fail the saving throw, you can probe into their mind, but then they know you are and can make an contested intelligence roll.
if you continue to probe after they become aware, or you can switch to a different target.
Let's see here. Probe mind probe. What is it? Detect thoughts.
Detect thoughts. Like, because he made the path, he's aware. He could switch, or you could try to keep probing, which then he would get the intelligence check to fight against it.
But it says here, if it succeeds, the spell ends. Either way, the target knows that you're probing its mind. Unless you shift your attention to another creature's spot, the creature can use its action on its turn to make an intelligence check, contested by your intelligence check. If it succeeds, the spell ends. Okay, blah. Either way, the target knows that you are probing its mind. Okay, period. Unless you shift your attention to another creature's thought, the creature can use its action on its turn to make an intelligence check, contested by your intelligence check. If it succeeds, the spell ends. Either way, the target can see your progress mind. Unless you shift your attention to another creature's thought. Yeah, but it says up here before that, if they succeed, it fails. So I think I'm gonna.
The spell ends. So
Right.
yeah,
So-
the intelligence check is just if you are able to probe into their minds. They're like somebody's probing, and then it's like, oh, switch to somebody else,
Right.
or they're gonna try to kick you out.
Right. You're right. And since he passed
If it
on the
wasn't-
initial
if he had-
wisdom,
Yeah, if he
Yeah.
had not succeeded on the wisdom, so then he could, then Vanthor could have shifted it over.
Okay.
So yeah, the spell ends when he succeeds. Unfortunately, shuts it down.
shut it down.
Shut it down.
I can try the other one. No, I can't. They'll hear me.
Yeah, and you kind of already raised some suspicion, but luckily Necros kind of washed it a little bit. So if you probe the other guy, they might, something might, there's a possibility that they'll put two and two together. So.
Let's make sure they leave, and then we'll go on.
After a few minutes, after Necra, the Necra Cobalt left, they gathered their things. The one Cobalt that you probed kind of does give a second glance, but then follows the other one, and they head off to the southwest in a way. So. At a good spot. They don't just walk away. They kind of, pick up the pace.
Giddy, happy to be sacrificed.
Yeah. As far as they're concerned, they've done their job. It's the other poor guy who's gonna be eaten. So, as far as they're concerned. Now that might change, but
Alright.
When the original guy gets there and says, "Hey, I did this," and they're like, "No, you didn't." Yeah, I did. Oh boy, here it goes.
Yeah, let them deal with it. Let their all-seeing mother queen deal with it.
Yeah, if she's all seeing, she knows exactly what happened. She knows they're also morons, so.
Of course. I mean, she would have predicted all of this happening. Anyway, after they're gone and we reconvene, I think we head on to the grove.
I'm going to tap Kellum on the shoulder and then walk away while I'm still invisible.
What?
I knew you were going to do that. That's awesome. I almost said that, but I was like, no, I'm not going to take it away from him. If he wants to do that, I'll let him do that. Yeah.
You
So-
tapped who?
Banthor counts coup on Necra?
Yep.
Okay. Alright,
Tap,
for the first time in probably decades, as soon as that happens, Necra goes about 6 feet straight up.
With a yelp and a jump, Necra acknowledges her presence. Or maybe acknowledges your presence, excuse me.
Yeah. Like,
Oh, jeez. Alright. Let's get back to the grove. We need to inform them that there may be others out watching. Need to make sure that the grove is on alert.
yeah, well, rather fitting the kids' play. So.
After I guess, do you drop the spell or just let it keep going until it peters out?
Oh, I dropped the spell. Yeah. Well, once the kobolds are gone, that's it. And after he makes Necra jump, well, you dropped it.
Well, I think greater is just
Greater invisibility is a minute.
well, that, and also one of the other things it does is like if you actually have to drop the spell instead of when somebody does something, just
Yeah,
break.
that's what I'm saying. I would
Yeah.
drop after.
Yeah.
After
That's what I like
you get
about Greater. Yeah.
after you get
Yeah,
scared.
It's probably one of the easiest and shortest spells. You or a creature you touch becomes invisible until the spell ends. Anything the target is wearing or carrying is invisible as long as it's on the target's person.
Yeah.
That's it. 2 sentences.
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward. As you enter the grove, Banthor and Kellum, you hear in your mind, and you know this is from the tree. Finally, you've reached my embrace yet again. Let me formally introduce myself. I am John Lee Pettymore.
John Lee Pettymore?
Same as my daddy and his daddy before.
Nice to meet you, John. And I'm just kind of in awe.
Galen kind of shrugs and, all right, we're on a job.
I look at Kellum like he has 3 heads. You're hearing this too, right?
Yeah. John, lead something. It's the tree.
And in the background, you can kind of hear Copperhead Road playing.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Copperhead Road.
I have to go
Copperhead Road. Sorry.
Google this stuff.
Old
now.
Southern Rock.
Just one moment, please.
CCR.
No.
No? Oh, wait a second. No, I'm thinking
Steve.
about a different. Yeah, Steve Miller. Sorry. My apologies. I was thinking about different Southern Rock band.
Alright.
Callum immediately starts looking for where the boat's being constructed at.
Well, I heard your request for a boat, but I think I got something better for you.
Spit it out.
And as you approach the grove proper, the village, you see four giant eagles circling in the sky.
Yep, I was like, I knew they were going to come back into this.
I sent out a call, and these majestic birds have answered. I didn't really think gods existed, but okay, I'm kind of flabbergasted.
I'm glad I can nod because I would have things to say. I should have things to say if you could hear him.
He's speaking to you in very matter of fact, and actually, it sounds like there's about two, maybe even three voices, like talking at the same time. One of a young boy, and one of an older man, deeper and raspy. But the main voice is one of, that you're hearing of a middle-aged, maybe a young man, and so somebody's at least sure of himself.
Mm.
So that mid-20s, maybe early 30s.
30s, before things start popping and creaking, So
Well,
right before the decline, 37, 47, But anyhow, 33, so oh, okay. I got one kid, couple kids, maybe.
Alright.
the Eagles are good. However, Callum will still go find somebody in the village. We still want a boat ready. Or, any other time we can't get the Eagles here. We should go and have a boat prepared. Just in case.
I have other members of the village have been inspired and have, let's say, looked deeper within their cellars. There's a few things here waiting for you. So there's a great fanfare as people see you, approaching the village and such. Nobody really stops you per se. They know, that this is a tight moment in time. It seems everybody's giving you a wide berth and is basically made a path to the tree.
Okay.
They are elated, and also some people were very, maybe some of the older people who have lived the longest and seen the beginning of the village and the catastrophe before it. These individuals have maybe a heavy heart, as they kind of remember, what they had to deal with before. As you approach the tree, set out before, kind of like as a makeshift altar almost at one of the places of meditation that have been set up there. A few items have been placed upon the tree as gifts. Jade looks at you with a light in her eyes. Her body is connected to the roots of the vines to the tree. So she doesn't really move far off from the tree itself. The champions have returned. I'm so good to see you. You're kind of like my children almost. Or at least that's how I feel.
Let's stick with servants of the tree. We're no one's champions.
Yes. Always the dutiful servant, I see.
We don't want a repeat of what happened last time someone let idols get to their head.
No, there is only one God of nature, and Sylvanus. He has spoken to us all. Here, the village has gathered things that they maybe not would have brought forward had they known the urgency of our current calamities. Sitting on the roots, basically surrounded by candles and incense, are a few boxes. As they're presented to you, one of them, the first one they present, and in your head, John says, "You'll like this one, Kellum."
Is it my animated
Jade
shield?
No. But wait. So Jade goes over and opens up the box and pulls out an ornate little modeled boat. Has swans on it, representing the waves on the side of the boat. And in the front is a great stag with huge horns. It fits comfortably in both of your hands as she hands it to you, Kellum. Here's your boat.
Callum will just look at it. Tell me it gets bigger.
Oh, yeah.
That's what she said.
I haven't heard that in a while. I tried to be good on this station. I'm sorry. She takes it from you and sets it on the ground, and pushes a few buttons, like on the side, moves a little, oar this way, and moves this the sails this way, and over just a few seconds, the boat grows larger, large enough to squeeze in the group. Yeah. It doesn't have a sail and just has a couple oars.
Oh, wait a minute. You
she
just said the miniature version had a sail, but the big version doesn't?
Oh, wait. It has a couple. It. And he goes, "It's like a convertible, man. It like totally changes forms."
What's
or maybe
convertible?
a transformer. Or maybe a transformer.
Now,
So
Kellen's
she does
just like,
another.
these words mean nothing.
She pulls a couple other little levers and such, and the boat grows almost 3 times the size, big enough for 6 people and a couple horses. This has a sail, rudders, and oars.
Okay.
We've been given
If I put
upholding.
something in there, will it shrink with the boat?
forgot. I don't have the item in front of me. Do you know?
Folding boat.
This is the folding boat, right?
It's
Yeah.
folding boat. And no, you can't leave items in the boat.
That's right. You can't. That's right. Yeah.
It-
As soon as he goes back to his form, everything just gets kicked out.
Yep, everything will be pushed out.
Well, he'll follow the sequence that he saw before and let it return to small. And all right, it'll be useful. Still, make another boat, and then he'll put it into his backpack.
I still want to put people to work.
No, it's
it
like
is a
contingency plan.
Yeah. It is a magical item called the folding boat. You can put that on your character sheet.
I did. It's a wondrous item. I was actually looking at them earlier when we first started talking about boats. I just typed in boat.
Oh.
The only thing that shows up is folding boats that are wondrous items. It's like, oh no, we're not going to get a boat, are we? 'Cause it's a wondrous item.
As soon as it said pulled out a model boat, I was like, all right, yep, we're getting a folding boat. Okay.
Yeah. Y'all know I'm good for some folding boat actions.
Okay.
All right.
It's good to talk about it.
It's a nice item.
They pull out another quiver. This box or thing is a quiver, and come over to you, Necra and Zorn. Inside the quiver are 24 ice arrows. They are a magical item. You can put those on your character sheet. Though the way it's set up, we'll probably need to put another arrow in your inventory and put however many those are. Change the name to ice arrow, and then anytime you use the ice arrows, just knock one off of those and such.
The ice arrows are a thing in this.
I couldn't find any that I maybe I don't know.
Yeah, it's there.
Type in arrow or start to in it.
Yeah, it's a magical. I made the magical item, but it's more like a bow than an actual arrow. It does all the damage. It does the damage for the bow and then damage for the arrow all at the same time. So to keep up with the amount, you'll just need to put a quantity, on your character sheet. Name it ice arrow, and then anytime you use the ice arrow, just knock one off that quantity. Because after you use them, they become regular arrows. So it does.
Item.
Yeah, custom item. So it's basically the longbow damage plus 2d4 plus 2 cold damage.
So 12 each?
Yeah, you and Zorn can figure that one. Zorn, if you need me to put that on your character sheet, I can do that for you.
Yes, it will be much appreciated.
No problem. There we go. And y'all split them 12?
12 and 12? I would hope so.
Yeah.
Sounds
Unless
good.
you want more.
Yeah.
We want some more. It's like I'm the main ranger. You're just envy.
Zone has just learned the fire arrow spell, so that's going to get some use.
Fire and ice.
Wow! Wow! That's gonna be fun.
So it's just an arrow that does plus one arrow that does cold damage.
Correct. So so you'll be doing the arrow damage plus the 2d4.
Oh.
Plus 2d4 plus 2 cold. So if you roll the damage for that, it'll basically. So you can use that. Anytime you use the ice arrow, you can use just the attack stat from that button, and then the damage button from that. It'll kick it out for you there.
Okay.
I got him plus 10. Yeah, so 28 with 18. 6 piercing and 9 cold, so a total of 15 points of damage. Alrighty. And then Kellum, hiding behind a bunch of vines. Jade pulls out a shield. There you go. There's your damn animated shield. I mean, there you go. There's an animated shield for you.
Like, I wasn't trying to push it too hard.
Oh no, I was gonna do it anyhow. So
Okay.
I was just gonna do it here. That's all.
You can blame Ashura though. When you told me about it, I was like, oh yes.
You're welcome.
The giant eagles said that they will take you to wherever you need to go and such. They're at your service until their lives are ended, or until your quest ends.
I'm pushing loyalty to the next.
What you say over there, Mary?
Nothing.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that's it for that. Those are the 3 items that they were able to procure: the arrows, the shield, and the boat.
Okay.
Jade says that I'm going to rewrite a little bit of the upgrades on the tree a little bit, and it's almost 11 o'clock. When y'all left, you were all given these basically like a square kind of a book almost. But something you don't, it's not something you would open. It's just a square piece of wood and glass and stone that have been melded together. And this is part of the chair apparatus for the tree. You've all been given this, and basically just records your combat spells, things like that, how you fight, how you interact in combat, and other things. And this information will be downloaded. And if you spend 4 hours in the chair, you can pick up either a feat, an ASI, or a 2 skills, or a tool, or 2. And such. So you can get an ASI, which either bump your attributes up, or to get a feat, or you can get skills, proficiencies, or expertise, and or get tools.
Nice. So we basically
Later, Mung.
got our iPhones.
Mung is saying bye. Later, guys. Later, Mung.
Later.
Basically, just spending that amount of time, we'll give you that. If y'all return again with more data, you can yet again do another upgrade and stuff like that. So it changes a little bit from what it was before. So what it was before was speeding up your training time. I'm just going to put that to the side and not worry about that. So I think I was just making my life more complicated as well as yours. So I change it, and that's what the change is.
We all been given touchscreen cell phones. So.
Basically, it basically it just stores the information that that it collects from the past couple of days. Sitting around reading or combat or stealth interaction.
You gave us Fitbits.
Basically, in a way, yeah. It was a way for Mr. Pettymore to collect data and then using that and his own data, pour that into you. It's over a 4-hour process. So
interesting. That was cool. All right.
So before our next session, y'all can think about what feats and or skills and tools you might want. Excuse me, sorry.
A feat skill.
So talking about our next session, that looks like it's Father's Day. I don't think that's going to happen.
We're not.
My wife is very particular about days. Oh, wait a second. Well, how about this? It's tentative because she may not even wake up by the time we get finished with the game. So, okay, never mind. She stays up to 2:00 some nights doing IT work and stuff. So, we'll say it's a 70, 30, 70% most likely we will have a game. So, but I guess that also depends on other fathers and stuff like that. So I guess that's what my original is. Oh, wait a second, Father's Day. So,
we'll just keep in touch on Discord till then.
Yeah. Unless, Banthor, you've got a definitive no.